Our podcast is here to give a voice to Black businesses, Black community leaders, Black efforts and initiatives that we hope that you would not only be interested in, but be a part of. And we love the ones that spur out of Arizona. We know there's so much culture here and so much to show you that we know our podcast is going to continue to bring you valuable people you need to know and valuable resources you need to get with, that we open this up to business entrepreneurs, like everyone, because, you know, we do a little bit online. So we have a group full of interesting folks, of people you need to get to know. So there is really a person with me today that you need to get to know. We met online, and I have the opportunity to have him here with me today to speak to you about what he's doing in the community right now in Arizona. But I kind of feel like it's something that's just needed in greater scale everywhere. So I'm gonna let him introduce himself. You know, I feel like I've done enough ramp up. Go ahead, tell the people who you are and what initiative you're pushing and how to connect with you.
Yeah, my name is Umberto Lukama. I am the founder for Seeds Project. And what we're starting is just the beginning of something great, we believe, in changing the future. And one of the things that we're currently working on is starting an initiative that supports fatherhood, and specifically Black fathers. A lot of times we've kind of like heard the narrative that, you know, Black fathers are not in their lives with their kids and that sort of thing. And one of the things that we want to promote is the positivity of having a Black man in the house, and not just in the house, but also in the lives of their kids. And, you know, I don't want to go on a tangent, but to just kind of go back and just, you know, talk about what seeds, you know, mean, and what type of seeds that we want to plant for the future.
Oh, that's awesome. Hey, let people know how they can connect with you online real quick.
So on Instagram is Seeds Project 16. My Instagram is umberto.luke. And if you have any questions or want to find out how you'd love to be part of it, you can send us an email at seedsproject@gmail.com. So
the Seeds Project.
Yes.
Just getting started. Mm-hmm. So you guys are growing.
Yes.
Pun intended.
Uh-huh.
Now, you said the focus is on Black fathers.
Yes.
And them remaining in the home, mm-hmm. but, you know, also educating them, giving them resources to mm-hmm. do that. How is it that you are looking to help the community find the importance of Black fathers and their role in the home?
Well, first off, you know, it's very important to hear stories, right? Mm-hmm. A lot of times, you know, you kind of sit around your parents and ask them questions about your grandparents if you've never met them. And a lot of times I find it interesting to, as a visual, you know, storyteller, I like to hear stories. And how we would like to, you know, push this is having to sit down with individuals, like cross generations, fathers in their 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s, and kind of hear their perspective on fatherhood.
Nice.
And, you know, I am more excited in hearing perspective from someone that's in their 60s and have older kids, and how they're able to give lessons or even, you know, parenting hacks, so you would call it.
Yeah.
And I feel like
tried and true methods.
Yeah, you know, and, you know, once we're able to hear those stories, then maybe we can apply it to our lives, or we can, you know, I think it's always better to hear than kind of decide what you want to do with it.
Now, are there, like, when you think about fatherhood,
uh-huh.
and when you think about the Black male in the home,
yeah,
you know, are there principles, are there values that you know to be true, mm-hmm. that you've kind of picked up along the way?
Yeah. So one of the things, right, a man is nothing but discipline. You know, what you do every day and what you give attention to is what eventually will, you know, you'll become. And one of the things I feel, you know, a Black man brings in the home is structure. And that structure, you have to apply discipline. And a lot of times when we say discipline, people think it's like punishment.
Yeah.
But it's something that you kind of place yourself in doing every day to better yourself. If you're not focused on something, you're going to be focused on something else, right? That's going to lead you to your own detriment. So I think finding a focus into something and applying your discipline, your routine, and, you know, better yourself.
Structure.
Yeah.
It's important.
Right.
It's what builds the house, honestly. And so it is, you know, it is not, you know, uncommon for people to say there's an issue with black men staying in the home, right?
Right.
Like, that's not a rare thing. Right. I've never heard that one before. I think it is important, but how do we make that something where, you know, it's normalized for relationships in our community to really be like, all right, let's stick together, not just for the children, but for the betterment of ourselves, for our community. I think there's a greater issue with relationships as a whole right now.
Right.
That's a conversation in itself.
Right.
But in our community, in our specific community, how do we make that more important to us?
Well, I think we have to start looking within ourselves, right? We have to, you know, reach out for help when we need help in certain areas. And a lot of times, at least in my experience, right, when I had my first child, I felt like I was kind of like watching myself again. And life might have hardened me a little bit, so to say. And, you know, watching my son grow and just watching the enthusiasm, the fearlessness that he has reminds me of like the kid I used to be. And through him, I'm able to find the little, you know, the little joys in life that once I used to take for granted, or I was just too focused on, you know, trying to make sure my things are straight. And once I started doing the inner work, I started learning about, oh, okay, so the more I work on myself, the more I'm kind of like liberating myself, and I'm able to have room to kind of deal with different type of things, right? Relationship with, you know, with my son alone, because I think that's really important. That's kind of where seeds started, is seeing my kids and thinking about, okay, what kind of relationship do I want to have with them? Because my voice is gonna be in their head for, you know, the rest of their lives. And I think it's very important to speak positivity, and how we handle certain things speaks a lot.
I hear that. And you know what I really took from that too was that, you know, when you had your child,
right,
you felt how much of an impact you were going to have in their life,
right?
And I think when we, you know, when we have children, that's a major event in anybody's lives. But what really affects us is how much we affect that other life. Like, it's not just the event of, okay, now I have a child, something I got to pay for, but also that my actions can actually affect this whole person's life who may or may not deserve it, however you feel about it.
Right.
I'm just saying my actions affect that. And just knowing that puts a greater weight, you know, on what you do. And I think looking at that and showing that importance to our community, hey, we do what we do. We love, you know, being a little ignorant sometimes. You know, it's kind of who he is. But we also have to understand our responsibility, and in leading the home, and with that should taper our actions. It is kind of what I got from what
definitely, because, you know, if you think about it, our generation, right, we are probably the generation that are, okay, this is not a fact or anything like that, speculating, right? We're probably the generation that, you know, are in our kids' life. We're going to their appointments. We're making sure that, you know, diapers are changed. We're staying up late at night with them. We're actually doing a step into like involving ourselves in their lives. And it seems as if the generation behind us basically trying to, I don't want to say better, that like with this generation there's a struggle, right? But I don't want to pass on my struggle to my kids. So I'm trying to make sure I take care of what I need to take care of, so that he doesn't leave the life that I lived or went through the things that I went through. So it can just be almost like a step up, like, you know, here you go.
Planting the the seeds of responsibility,
right,
of empowerment,
right,
into the black fathers of today is
right.
what I'm hearing, what I'm seeing it as.
Yeah.
And that is an important, a vastly important charge.
Yeah.
I mean, what the last couple episodes we were talking about an event that's here that we're bringing a conference in June that's to empower black men, you know, the Black Male X conference. But you have an event that's also in June.
Yes.
That's empowering black fathers.
Yes.
And so share a little bit about that and how that came to be.
Yeah, so like I stated earlier, this started by me, having my own kids and understanding the sort of the type of impact I have on them, right? I started to realize, based on like my, my past or, past traumas, so we should call it, I always said to myself that I'll never speak to my child that way. I will never deal with my kid in this certain instance like that, because I felt like as a parent, what you say to your kid sticks, right? Because you are this hero or someone that I look up to. But once we start kind of speaking such words into their lives, we're kind of killing the plant, right? And I had read a scripture once. It spoke about like fathers do not, push your kids to anger, or that would like discourage them and that sort of thing. And I always wanted to speak life into my, my kids' life. Now that's like a double-edged sword, right? Yeah. Because kids gonna be kids, and you have to figure out a way to, navigate those waters. And that's kind of what brought up the Seeds project. And, I'm very, very happy and interested to hear different stories from different generations and what type of advice they're willing to give out to, black men that are willing to sit down and listen to what they have to say. Nice. Yeah.
So Seeds facilitates the stories of black fathers to inspire and teach black fathers of the future.
I like how you said that.
I'm just saying. That's what I'm kidding. That's what I'm just regurgitating, right? Yeah. I'm taking in what you have to say, and I'm just trying to re-explain it, because that's I think that for one is very important. I feel the importance of that. But it's something that if we can put it in a way where people get that in translation, where they can connect to what the true story is, what the message is, right, then it may spark a change. If we can get people to listen to these stories that you're bringing through the through the Seeds project, then hopefully we can inspire, better relationships, right, more understanding, more capacity for handling our children. I for some reason want to talk about a movement that I heard that I still feel that I still kind of support, but it's a little different. It's called F Them Kids. I don't know if you ever heard of them.
Well, okay.
I don't know if you heard of them.
I've heard that quote. I've heard that quote, right?
Yeah.
And
so, we could talk about it.
Yeah, tell me a little bit about it, actually.
So it's really about liberation for parents. Feeling good in their positions is what I get from it. I feel like, you know what I'm saying, we can't just live our lives for just our children. We need to live our lives for ourselves as well. But I don't take it as,
Wait. Before you go, to what extent?
I agree with that. Being a father myself, I agree with that part. But I also and I don't really know the creator of the movement, but from what I get, it's still about parent empowerment, right? And that's kind of how I take it. I like to take the positive side of that, because I ain't saying F my kid. I love my kid. My kid is, you know what I'm saying? And all the other ones, you know what I'm saying, they be on my nerves, but I love mine. You know what I'm saying?
You love, see, when you go places and you hear kids acting out, screaming, it gets on your nerves, right?
Oh yeah.
But when it's your kids, you got a little bit more patient.
Oh, 100%. I'm gonna let it. I mean, okay, I'm gonna tell you the truth. If you want to know the truth, honestly, I want to say, it'll be cool. But if it's my kid screaming, I'm the first to yell at that boy. I'm the first to kind of snatch him up. Right, I'm gonna snatch up my kid, and then if I'm gonna be nice. I'm gonna sit there for a little bit. I'm gonna take it in. They can yell a little bit. You know what I'm saying. You might see an eye twitch. Yeah. You know what I'm saying. That'll be about as much as it gets.
Somebody.
Somebody. You know what I'm saying? Just a little bit of that going on. Yeah. But I just as far as that's because it's not my responsibility.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And I think we are in our society. We do believe in the village should raise the child. That's why I know in all of us we feel that inkling to go and snatch that kid up. Even though he yelling, we gonna smack.
Where your people at?
Is your mom around the corner? We may ask. Lovingly, with all due respect, but we don't want to. We also are quick to not get into somebody else's business. We ain't trying to just jump in to the middle of something we don't know. I don't know about you, but you know what I'm saying. If I see somebody talking to their kid in the front of the store, I'm gonna be like, oh, handle that. I'll let that go. So that's like, I think there's etiquette in our community, like, because you know what I'm saying, we believe in helping, but we know when there's a cutoff. But how, I think when it comes to getting the skills necessary to parent, or to know that etiquette, or to have that, it got to come from more than just experience or getting smacked in the back of your head when you it got to come from what you're doing, the Seeds Project, telling stories, getting that experience from those who know and have been around the block, and to add on to what you said, like, it takes a village to raise a child. So I was born in Congo, right? And I remember going to school. And if you got in trouble at school, that teacher he's gonna discipline you right there, and they're going to take that message and send it to your parents. And when you get home, it's not going to be like they're trying to protect you or anything like that. They're going to discipline you as well, right? Because you're acting out in public. But I feel like in today's world, although we're not kind of granted that ability to, so to say, discipline someone else's child in public. Because times are different, right? And you don't want to offend anybody because that's someone else's kid. I mean, you don't want to be a black Karen or Keisha or something, like, you don't want to I mean, you know what I'm saying, like, hold up, what you doing touching my child? Like, then it turned into a whole issue. So I feel that, but I feel like we do need to highlight the importance of having both parents in the home, of fathers teaching fathers, and looking at our young men as future fathers, and putting it in perspective of, relationship is building connection, especially even with your child. So it's kind of hard to do when you over discipline. Like these are things that I've kind of gotten through being a parent and learning and understanding and trying to work with this other person that I helped to bring into this earth. But I can also say that I've needed other men to talk to at times, other men that could guide me in the right way. So with the Seeds Project, is it something where not only will you be able to hear the stories from these men, is there like is it almost like mentoring, like how does this work? Is it like a meetup, or?
Well, eventually it's going to be almost like a mentoring program, right? Because again, when I came to America, and these are the kind of things that kind of inspired this whole project. When I came to America, I needed someone that I could talk to, right? Because I was kind of taken from a different culture and brought into a different culture, and immediately I went to school, like high school, right? And one of the things that really shocked me was somebody being pregnant at 16, right? And I come from Congo, so things were a little bit more sheltered than, in America, things are in the open. So that was like a big cultural shock to me, and a lot of things were, and I felt like I didn't have no one I could talk to or even tell the things that I was experiencing. And I was the only boy with 4 other sisters, so I just kind of felt alone. And there was never almost like a mentorship where I could just be like, okay, this is kind of what I'm struggling with. I don't really understand this. I don't understand that. And that's kind of, some of the things that really brought up the idea of Seeds.
Wow, that's nice. And you grew up with 4 sisters.
Yeah, man. It was rough.
Yeah, he said it was rough. No, but that so you're used to feminine energy. So
yeah.
And so you have that around, but then you saw the lack of male leadership out here when you came out here. But was your father in the home when you?
Yes,
he was there. So you at least had him to connect with. But it's also different, right? Because he's also experiencing things that I don't know about within the culture. So he has his own,
I don't want to say frustrations, but he's on things that he's dealing with. And then everything seems like a burden at the time, but now I can kind of understand, okay, I kind of wonder what he was going through, trying to, you know, he brings a whole family here, so I wonder what he's going through. But I can't really talk to him because in our culture we're not like that. So you know.
So you see the need even there in that relationship. You see the need where if you were to connect with him more, it could help you in your experience. But then you had your father in the home to where you could at least see him and experience that. And you see that it's more prevalent out here in America without there even being a father. You can't even derive from that.
Exactly.
You know, you just pull from straight up the streets.
You're kind of learning from everybody that you see. You know,
homie. And that's terrible.
Yeah.
So that's why projects like this are needed, and we need to support initiatives and efforts like this so that they continue. So if I can get you to again shout out your Instagram and then re-shout out and let people know who you are and how they can connect with you and your organization.
So you can find us on Instagram at Seeds Project 16. If you're interested in joining our movement or initiative, you can send us an email at seedsproject@gmail.com. And you know, we're very excited to start this and share stories and be able to hear from different generation, different well of wisdom that we can all dig in, and also being able to share. And you know, there's always room to grow, and if we're able to change one life, then we did something.
Nice. That's what it's about. Hey, thank you for tapping in, learning about this wonderful project, the Seeds Project. It's projects like these that are going to enable us to enlighten the future generations to become better than we are today. So let's keep that going. And in that spirit, check out our next podcast. Tune in, subscribe, do all the things that we're bringing to you. And when we say connect with us, connect with us. Don't just watch behind the screen. Go ahead and go to his Instagram, Seeds Project 16. I got it right here. It's SEEDSPROJECT 16. Go there, subscribe, and connect with us too. Black Arizona. At Black Arizona. What is that with the A? That, you know, Black Arizona with the A at the end. Connect with us on Instagram too, and join us on Facebook. We got a large Facebook group where we are just sharing business services and connecting as a people, showing the world that Arizona has culture. We don't want to hear that no more. Don't say nothing about it. We don't even accept that we have culture. Let's go. Let's rock. Hey, my man. Now, you were telling me a bit about that event that you have in June, but let me know what it all entails.
So you know, we're going to preview the documentary that we've been shooting, and we'll also have live installments, also displaying artwork that we've done, and I'll also have some original work that I've done that I'll be displaying. But most importantly, we're going also to have an installment that's going to be really special for the fathers. You know, a lot of times on Father's Day you only get socks and stuff like that. So you know, tie or something, right? Or a gift card maybe if you're lucky. But we have something really special for the fathers, and you know, as soon as you walk in, you'll be able to see it.
Nice. And when was the specific date of this event? So
the event is June 16th, right on Father's Day. So a lot of times on, you know, Mother's Day, you take your mom to your restaurants, you do a bunch of stuff. Why don't you take your dad out to the Seeds Project, and you know,
nice.
That'd be great.
Now, I heard that there was like some cool stuff going on, like art and entertainment and things like that as well. So we'll also have live music. You know, as a young kid say, it'll be a vibe. Nice, a full vibe, 100%. And so that's what we need to please the old heads, and the young heads, the new booties. We want to get them in the door too, so that they can get some of that good wisdom. So come on, you know, 2-step and you know, do all that stuff. All right, Joe. Well, that's what's up. Check it out. Be there. Would you said it was June 16th? June 16th, Father's Day, 2024, the inaugural Seeds Project event. That's what's up.